Welcome to this practice. We're going to be combining some pranayama for cleansing, for the purpose of cleansing emotions and also digestion. And then we'll go into a physical asana practice that deepens your understanding of how kapha dosha and vata dosha need to collaborate in the seasonal transition between winter and spring, vata season. Good morning. Welcome for practice. We are in the spring season now, so we're going to treat that as a time to open up the upper chest where the seat of kapha dosha is, and also to open the throat and to be able to release things that we don't want to be storing. And by that I mean through the hibernation of winter, vata season, there are some things that you store, but also at times we've stored emotions or even memories and trauma in the body. So how do you release those things? We're also going to be looking at not taking the system too much past a certain threshold, because vata dosha is still very present right now. And if you do a lot of upward rising activities in your yoga practice, it can feel wonderful. And it can also encourage your vata dosha to stay up and out. And as we know in Ayurveda, we say, craving begets craving. If we stimulate something that feels even temporarily good, we want more of it. And then that wanting more of can move our dosha out of balance in such a way. Pitta dosha tends to crave spicy food and pickles, but it ought not be eating either one of those things. Kapha dosha craves more sleep, more restorative time, but there are periods in the year where kapha dosha ought not be having more of that hibernation quality. And vata dosha will tend to want more movement, more lightness. And there are times where vata dosha ought not be doing that. So to balance the doshas, but also to have a spring cleanse of the stored emotions or stuff in the body, we shall get underway. You can rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Allow yourself to drop into your body, into your breath right here in the present moment. As you check in with your body, take notice of how upright you're able to sit with ease. So, how vertical do you sense your spine to be? Do you have a sense of your head resting on top of the spinal column or a little bit more forward? Is there a strain in being vertical with your thoracic spine? Is it easeful or difficult to set the shoulders slightly back? Do you have a sense of sitting in the center of the pelvic basin, or tipped more forward or rolled more back? When you sense those things, you're basically asking, where does your body hold tension or resistance? Where is it easeful? Where does energy flow freely? And sometimes you're getting a glimpse of postural habits and places where your body congeals a kind of tension, like the front of the shoulders, or a roundedness of the thoracic spine that is causing pain in the mid place between the shoulder blades, or a rounded thoracic spine and a forward head position, causing the upper back muscles to have to overwork, basically to hold your head on. As you make these observations, I'm going to encourage you to do so with a very gentle and loving attitude. And if you're observing that things are well aligned and you feel connected to your vitality, that is a blessing also. Begin to deepen your breathing now. Allow the inhale to drop down and then to gently expand concentrically up through the torso, even touching the collarbones and the space between the upper corners of the shoulder blades. And exhale with a gently and consistently toning of the lower abdomen and the mid-abdomen and the upper abdomen. At the end of your next exhale, release the practice of observing the breath or pacing the breath, and simply join your hands together in Anjali Mudra. We'll chant together the invocation for spring season. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. So we'll do some Kriya practices here to help move energy in the body. And then we're going to be focusing on opening up the chest and the throat region as well. So beginning with Bastrika, a strong exhale from the base of the abdomen. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Think of moving energy out, out, out. We'll do this through the mouth, about the size of a milkshake straw, like, whatever. I haven't had a milkshake in a long time, but I think those straws are thicker than cocktail straws, which I also have not used in a very, very long time. I can't remember the last time that I had either one of those things. Okay, so let's start with a percussive exhalation like this. Five, four, three, two, one. Long exhale. Breathe in through the nose. Full torso breath with a suspension at the top. Release the bandhas and the breath in your own timing. Allow your body to relax. And now repeating that. Five, four, three, two, one. Long exhale. Inhale through the nose, completely up to suspension. Release the bandhas and the exhale in your own timing. Encourage your body to be deeply relaxed. When you complete a kriya, rest in the silence and the stillness that follows the release. And now Kapalabhati. This is a fluttering exhale that happens at the solar plexus, exhaling out through the nose briskly. Whatever in-breath is needed comes in the vacuum of the exhale, 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 exhale. So we're only focusing now on the exhale as we were also with Bastrika. Again, we'll go to a complete exhale, we'll inhale and we'll suspend the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Inhale slowly and completely up to suspension. Release the bandhas and the exhale in your own timing. Relax in the quiet echo. Now place the tip of the tongue behind the top two teeth. Make the back of the throat hollow for the ujjayi sound, which is a whispering sound similar to the sound of the ocean in a seashell. The sound is made by hollowing the back of the throat as if you're enjoying a yawn, and that contracts the epiglottis. You'll have the sense that you're breathing through the throat, though the air is coming and going through the nose. So come to the ujjayi breath, please. As you enter the sound of the inhale and the sound of the exhale, there's a silence at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. So listen for the sound to be silky smooth and for the silence to be this joyful emptiness, the top of the in-breath, the bottom of the out-breath. The ujjayi breath is going to naturally slow down the pace of the breath because of how you're toning the throat. It is also naturally helpful for your vagal tone, which is connected to emotional resilience and even the ideal experience of your gut-brain axis and digestion and mood and so on. At the end of your next exhale, release the ujjayi breath. You'll notice you had some kriyas, which are stimulating while you're doing them. There's a silence that follows. And then you've had a balancing, kind of an adaptogen practice. Now we have a couple practices for expelling the held emotions. And the first one is simha breathing, or lion's breath. So you make your paws like this, paws and claws. And on the inhale, we'll be filling up the torso as completely as we can. And on the exhale, we come forward, the shoulders push back, the claws come out, you stick out the tongue, you make the eyes big, looking up, and you roar. That means your exhale has a sound to it. So let's inhale, lower, middle, upper, fill up the torso. And then come back to resting in the echo of the practice. And now we have a very special cleansing practice. This is a process that you build on. As you get comfortable with one stage, you move to the next stage and the next stage. So the first stage is learning to exhale completely, squeezing the breath out, because some of the impurities are held, we say in yoga, they're held in the abdomen. So first chakra, second chakra, this region of the third chakra is where the digestive fire is. And it's said that we should digest food, life experiences, and emotions. But for undigested food and undigested emotions, that is called ama. It's the root cause of all disease. So what has not been digested is living in the body. And this is like the rubbish container. So this practice we're going to do now is the first stage of addressing that rubbish. When you've exhaled completely and you've squeezed the breath out, then for a few moments, you're not going to be inhaling at all, but you're also going to relax those abdominal muscles. And there'll be an internal vacuum that comes, like an internal suction inside. To get comfortable with this, you're going to need to be able to rest your head on the floor, and that could be a block or two in front of you, or it could be that you comfortably come all the way down to the floor. The hands will be at the small of the back like this. Okay, so check for yourself what you need to have there. If you're sitting up on something high, I'm sitting up on something pretty low, but if you're sitting up on something and you have the feeling you're going to tip over, it's helpful to have whatever height you're leaning towards be the height that you need, or to sit a little bit closer to the ground, not to sit up quite so high, if your hips and pelvis can allow for that. And so place your hands at the small of your back, and please inhale slowly. In preparation, everything we've done so far gives you a kind of readiness for this opportunity. So we're going to inhale fully. And then exhale slowly and squeeze the breath out on the way down. The forward fold helps with the exhale squeeze. Make sure your head is supported. At the end of the exhale, without inhaling, relax the muscles that made the exhale. And then tone the belly muscles and inhale to rise back up to sitting. And you're coming back up in your own timing because you can't pace according to myself, you must pace according to yourself. And you can either then go sequentially, breath to breath, or take a little pause, a refresher breath when you come upright. Okay, let's try again. I'll encourage each of you to do 4 from here, to do 4 of these practices. It's called Korma Mudra. When you finish 4 of those, you can then relax in your upright seat. Notice any sense of clarity that comes to your mind, any sense of mental stillness. The next practice that we'll do is a second stage, more intermediate from where we just were. We will again complete the exhale. At the end of the exhale, we will once again not be inhaling. We will once again have a sense of that suction that happens when you squeeze the breath out, and without inhaling, you relax your exhale muscles. The diaphragm is moved back up to its sort of mid-torso place here, and there's a suctioning of the inner body where you can sense the very beginning of the bandhas from Mula Bandha to Uddiyana to Jalandhara Bandha as they occur during exhale suspension. Of course, you were using those bandhas in inhale suspension as well, but you had air in the body, so the sense of Uddiyana Bandha was really the musculoskeletal in and up to puff the chest up. It's called Rechaka Kumbhaka, the inhale suspension. So now we're going to be looking at this suspension during the exhale. And when you've squeezed the breath out and then there's no air, the Uddiyana Bandha is going to feel a lot stronger. But it's helpful to go gradually into this experience to support yourself. So what we're going to do is place the hands on the knees. We'll exhale completely, and that's going to tone the lower belly. At the end of that exhale, if you squeeze the breath out, relax the exhale muscles. And then, without inhaling, make a slow pretend inhalation. Now, when that is ready to be released, you tone the abdomen once again, and you inhale. Okay, so let's try. Here's the inhale. And then you're going to exhale from the bottom up. That is the exhale pathway of the breath that goes out through the nose. At the end of your exhale, as you're getting closer and closer to it, think of firming the lower abdomen. At the end of that exhale, squeeze. Hold the breath out. Relax the abdominal muscles. Make a pretend inhale. Bring that on slowly. You're going to feel this internal suctioning beginning, and then you're going to squeeze the belly to tone it again, and inhale smoothly without gasping. Okay, let's try it again, in your own timing, of course. As you're learning, you're exploring a practice, perhaps for the first time, don't cause yourself breathlessness. There is a great beauty in this practice. It's a very powerful practice for meditation and for cleansing. So don't cause unnecessary strain. Let's try it one more time. And so after the efforts and the explorations, let the mind rest once again. You've now stirred some of those impurities. I'm not judging you, I'm just naming it. You've stirred those, and we're going to be asking them to come up and out. Initially, simply let the mind be quiet in the after echo of Uddiyana Bandha. Okay, thank you for practicing in this way. We have a series of pranayama practices that take you step by step, practice to practice to practice into Uddiyana Bandha, a more complete understanding of it. And you can check that practice series out on our YouTube channel. To understand more about it, check this link here. Okay. So now we're going to look at what does it mean to open up the chest and the throat, having done that movement. We have some background noise, so I just changed the sound setting. Okay, so please take a block like this. In fact, I'll use my green block because this matches too much the color of my outfit. So take this block flat like this. You're going to be lying on it. Remember when yogis lay down on a bed of nails? You're going to lie backwards on this block. Please watch for a moment. So when you first lie back, you actually will not quite know where to be on the block because you're going to lie down in such a way as you've got the two corners of the block, the upper two corners are right there between the upper two corners of your shoulder blades. And that means that you ought to have the ability to then lay the head back towards the floor. If the floor is too far away for your head, please put a blanket, but allow the throat to be open like this. And then we'll take the arms overhead. And initially, you're going to hold the hips up because you have the strength to do that. Initially, we're going to stretch the arms overhead. You can clasp the fingers together and give a nice pull from the shoulder girdle towards your knuckle, towards your hand. The block is very firm, and so you may feel it pressing on some trigger points, places where you have tight muscles. Inhale once more, reach the arms overhead. And then exhale and bring your arms into a kind of goalpost position where you're going to bend the elbows. I also call this saguaro cactus position because that's how those cacti have their arms up in the desert. So take the arms out into a little bent elbow, forearms dropping back towards the floor. If your shoulders are limited in flexibility, this may feel challenging. It's a good idea to have a support not only under your head, but under the back of your hands. Now we're going to go between these two positions. So on your inhale, reach towards the wall behind you. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your elbows. And again, inhale to reach. And exhale, bend the elbows. Now bring your hands down alongside your hips. Turn your palms face down. Let the shoulders drop back towards the floor. Please keep holding your hips up. I know you have the strength to hold up your hips. If you don't yet have that strength, I know you want that kind of strength. So keep the hips up. Drop the shoulders back. And then bend the elbows so you can place your hands on the floor under your hips. Clasp the hands together, palms facing down. So you can kind of weave your fingers together, palms facing down. And now lower your hips down to sit on the back of your hands. Allow the head to tip back for a moment. As you sit on the back of your hands, stretch your legs out straight. You are now in a supported fish pose. I realize the block may not be in a comfortable position for your mid to lower spine. Let's inhale, rise up to sitting, lift your heart. So your head and your hair trail behind you on the way up, right? I often talk about that like a shampoo commercial from my childhood. You know, you're rolling up and your hair is trailing behind you. I don't remember which shampoo that was at the moment. Now take the block and put it on the tall setting. And when you lay back on the block this time, you're going to touch the first edge of the block with the middle of the shoulder blades. the second edge of the block, you can watch here, hopefully it'll be visible. I'd like that to be at the base of your skull. So when you set yourself here, you then drop the head back and it touches the base of the skull. So it's right there. If you need to, you can put your thumbs at that spot and just kind of align the base of your skull. So the block has this fixed dimension, right? For all of us, it's a standard block. The base of the skull, you should still be able to move your head side to side and feel these little occipital grooves. And then where the block is between the upper corners of the shoulder blades, middle of the shoulder blades, probably a tender spot is there. You see your head should feel supported because the occiput is supported. Clasp the hands, reach your arms overhead. Allow the breath to come down in the lower pelvis, the mid-torso, and then up into the heart. If you have tension at the base of the skull, you may be realizing that now because maybe the block feels tender there. And open the arms out into a T shape. It's not likely that everyone's going to reach the floor with the backs of the hands, but you may find that you can. Breathe in. And then sweep the arms overhead once again. Clasp your fingers together. Hold the back of your head now with both hands and curl up to sitting. Okay, so where you just were, you had the block at the base of the skull. And it was like, up between the edge of the shoulder blades. Let's take it in one more spot. This means that you're going to go to the middle, sort of lower middle of the shoulder blades. This time you'll have to hold your head, clasp your hands, and drop your head back into your hand. Now you've got the block kind of at the classic sports bra strap location across the mid shoulder blades, lower shoulder blades. As you reach your head back, bring the elbows towards each other and comfortably lay your head back into your hands. Notice the inhale from the base of the belly to the mid-torso up into the heart. Open your throat so the chin is not pulling down towards the sternum at the moment. And if it's comfortable for your neck and you have the strength and the flexibility for it, release your head backwards, sweep the arms overhead, hands clasped together, big breath in. And then exhale, circle the arms out into a T shape. Inhale, arms overhead. Clasp the hands. Hold the back of your head, and as you exhale, curl up and release from there. Hey, good morning to your upper back. I hope that's somewhat comfortable for you. Or maybe it's a sign of, it's giving you some information where it's like a wake-up call, a sign of like, oh gosh, we should take care of the upper back, the throat, the neck, all these things. So please come up to standing. Take a wide stance on your mat. Come into a forward bend. So I was saying earlier, we want to awaken the energy of the Kapha dosha moving up and out. The spring is coming. Oh my God, the sweet peas are getting taller. They're in their little grow room here in the house. All the starts are getting bigger and they're so excited to go in the ground. So this growth is going on and we want to have that energy rising, but we also still need Vata dosha not to take us up and out. So come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. Reach back to clasp your hands at the small of your back. Roll the shoulders open. Okay, now as you inhale, lift your chest and heart, glide forward, look forward. As you exhale, bow towards the legs. Allow the torso to round a bit, but keep the shoulders moving up away from your ears. Inhale, glide forward, opening to the spring. Exhale, bow towards the legs, releasing the exhale as completely as you can. Inhale, gliding forward. And exhale, gliding down. Inhale, rise up to standing. And exhale, release the clasp of your hands. Okay. There should be some energy in your upper torso right now and in your arms, fingers, thumbs, all those places. All right. Turn your right foot out. Turn the left heel slightly out. I am standing on a blanket on my yoga mat on a padded carpet on the top of a black piece of soundproofing fabric that's on the floor. So I have several layers beneath me, and that's on purpose this morning. So I'd like you to be able to squish your toes into the floor to really feel like, oh, there is this earth into which we connect. There is this solar energy from which we receive. Without it, we wouldn't be here. Inhale, sweep the arms wide, press down into all 10 toes. Exhale, bend your right knee and come down to Parsvakonasana. So you can place your right hand on your right ankle if you like. You can also use a block to place your hand on, or you could put it on the floor. Reach back through your left heel into the earth. Reach down through your right heel. Lengthen the tailbone towards your left heel. So it's aligning your pelvis to give your spine this direction, this diagonal direction. And breathe deeply. Hopefully you sense that all three regions of the lungs and the torso are receptive to the breath from all the work we've already done. So breathe in. And then exhale, root down into your right heel and rise up with the exhale breath. Relax both arms. Turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Squishy, squishy. Press into the floor. Almost like you're standing in the spring mud, but it's not as cold. Inhale the arms wide. Exhale, bend the left knee, come down into Parsvakonasana. You may put a block there for your hand, that's totally fine. Put 2 or 3 blocks if you need to, or you can hold the inside of your ankle. Balance on the strength of the legs, supported by the strength of your breath. Use the long reach of the spine and your right arm for aspiration, and that taproot, that grounding, for a sense of being connected to the earth. And then exhale and rise up. Use the strength of both legs, make the feet parallel. And one more time, come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. Clasp the hands, roll your shoulders open. And inhale, rise up to standing. Let's go heel toe in. And please take a block, 2 blocks in fact, and come down to sit. Okay. Let's put 1 block, I'll use the green one, between the feet, between the ankles, like this. So you know right where that is. And you take your hands behind you. Let's point the fingers in towards the centers of the palms. Towards the centers of the hips. It'd be very hard to do what I had said initially. Okay, roll the shoulders back. Yeah, when you're rolling your shoulders back, it's okay to have a little bend in the elbows to get some mobility there, right? Okay, and then press down into your heels. Inhale, rise up to Purvottanasana. Exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale, pick up your block and your arms. Okay, exhale, Navasana. And then exhale, touch it down. Put the soles of the feet together against the block. Come forward. You can hold your toes. You can hold your ankle. Okay. Rise back up. Inhale, baby boat pose, which means pick up the feet. Exhale, Navasana. Touch the feet back down, hands behind. Inhale, Purvottanasana. Exhale, hips down. Lift your heart, lift your block. Exhale, Navasana. Inhale, transitioning. Put the feet against the block, knees out to the side. Inhale, baby boat pose, holding your block. Exhale, Navasana. Inhale, touch down. Raise up to Purvottanasana. And exhale, last time. Now as we come down, pick up the block for baby boat pose. And then Navasana. And now Dandasana. And Paschimottanasana. For Paschimottanasana, you can take the block beyond the feet to hold on to if you like. Now place the block back between the ankles, please. Hi, honey. Should we try to do it together? I don't think you're going to like it. No, I didn't think so. Your dad does it, but you don't like it so much. Okay, baby boat pose. And then Navasana. Now exhale, roll down. Inhale, arms overhead, bring the legs over. Pick up the hips. Roll the hips down. Roll up. Navasana. Sorry, Bindi. Okay, roll down. Sorry, honey. And then legs overhead. Pick up the hips. Roll down with the pelvis. Come up to Navasana. One more time, roll down. And legs over, hips up. Catch the block. Touch the feet down. Sorry, honey. Relax the mind and the belly. You might be wondering now, why are there two different colors of blocks? Why did I state that at the beginning of the practice? So rise up to your seat, put the block that was lengthwise earlier under your spine again. Have the other block available for your hand to reach easily. And this time, instead of holding your hips up, you're going to place this block on the medium setting under the pelvis. I was pulling my hair, excuse me. So you place it under the back of the hips there. So this is a combination of supported bridge pose and supported fish pose. Hi, Bindi. Yeah, come here, honey. Oh, come here. Hi. Hi. You need some rubbies? Yeah. You got it? Okay. You need some more? Okay. So let the shoulders drop down alongside the edges of the blocks. Turn your palms face down. We hope your head, neck, and throat feel relaxed in this position. The head should feel supported, but at the same time, the throat is open. This is a pose you're actually resting in, letting prana recalibrate itself right now. You may feel the blood supply coming towards your head or your face, which is fine. It will not be a long-term pose. So relax as you're able to. And we're going to pick up the hips, put the block number 2 aside, and place your palms down again. So your fingers are interlaced, but the palms are face down. And we lower the hips down to sit on the back of the hands like we did before. Come up like you're part of a shampoo commercial. And then you rise up to sitting. With me, honey. Yeah. I'm going to lie down. Lie down, please. Put the soles of the feet together. Put the knees out to the side without crushing your kitten. And let's cover at least the lower part of the body with a blanket. So you have a sense of now rooting your vata dosha back into its home in the pelvis. There we go. Close the eyes and watch the magic happening inside your body. As you're observing, let your body get heavier and more relaxed. You can imagine your gaze going down towards your heart, down to the pelvis. Allow your mind to be surrendered, to be deeply at rest. Notice your body bringing your breathing and your biochemistry back into balance. Allow the settling process to go deeper now. Now roll your head side to side. Wiggle the toes and the fingers. Bring the knees up to center. Roll sideways, and as you come up to your seat, I'm hoping that your kapha dosha does not need coffee. That you feel like your energy is available to you. We give this homage to the solar source of our radiance. We don't give it to the caffeine that makes us. Vata dosha actually goes out of balance with caffeine. Kapha can have a little bit, but I'm hoping you're not feeling like kapha dosha is pulling you down and you need some caffeine to get going, but rather that you feel like the pea shoots in the garden. Let's check and see. Please raise your hands to your heart. Thank you very much for sharing this time and this practice. I hope it felt meditative along the way and you have a sense of the tranquility and the homage that you want to move forward into this day with, giving gratitude towards, giving respect for, giving appreciation for, and also respecting your own vitality, moving through things with stitau, stable, kapha dosha, tranquility, the evenness of mind that can come from a lucid, balanced vata dosha. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Oh, I should also say, may you digest your food and your emotions. You're going to need your pitta dosha for digestion. You need the fire of the Agni to digest the food and the emotions. So I'm not leaving pitta out. I just don't think we have to over enforce pitta dosha in the society that we live in with the cultural conditioning that we have. So stitau for everyone, please. Thanks again. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and with the community. I hope this was really helpful to you. If you did feel a benefit from the class, please click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And if you have questions or comments, leave those down below the video. Thanks again, everyone. Namaste.